Leaders release Christmas messages. They talk about happiness, about peace, and sometimes about reducing divisions. Yesterday, Donald Trump also released a Christmas message. Let's just say it was very different. Let me quote from what he said. Merry Christmas to Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada. If Canada was to become our 51st state, their taxes would be cut by more than 60%. Their businesses would immediately double in size and they would be militarily protected like no other country anywhere in the world. This is from the incoming President of the United States. He is openly asking Canada to join his country. It was funny the first time. It was less funny the second time, but now it's downright insulting. Yet what is Justin Trudeau doing about it? Nothing. He can barely keep his government afloat. There's no way he can take on Donald Trump. But the running joke does raise questions about this relationship. Why does Trump dislike Trudeau? I mean, he's picked fights with other leaders too, but with Justin Trudeau it seems personal. We can think of 3 reasons why. One is ideology. Trudeau bills himself as the liberal darling, whether it's on LGBTQ rights or minority issues or climate change, and Donald Trump is the exact opposite. He is the conservative darling. Secondly, Trudeau has a close relationship with Trump's arch nemesis, the man who drew Trump to politics, Barack Obama. Both of them share a very close bond. In fact, Obama endorsed Trudeau twice, once in the 2019 election and then again in the 2021 election. I bet Trump does not like that. Which brings us to the third reason. Trudeau's own actions in the first Trump presidency. Let me take you back to 2019. The UK was hosting a summit of NATO leaders. Trump, Emmanuel Macron and Boris Johnson were huddled together and Trudeau decided to crack some jokes. That too at the expense of Trump. Just one problem though. His so-called jokes were caught on a hot mic. Listen to this. Trump was understandably angry. After seeing this video, he called Justin Trudeau two-faced. He also left the NATO summit early.
Well, he's two-faced.
You think that Germany is too naive?
And honestly, with Trudeau, he's a very...
Okay, so this is Palky Sharma. Those of you who are not familiar with her, she is an Indian news anchor. She has worked for CNN for 11 years. And then she's relentlessly continuing the CNN fake news narrative in a news podcast, or I'm sorry, news broadcasts, and she would typical CNN because she is indoctrinated as having worked 11 years, and I'm not sure because these news anchors are totally useless. You pay them the salary they want, they have no conscience whatsoever, let alone morals and ethics and all this. But downright, they have no conscience. The only thing they know is money. You pay them the money, they'll say anything. So she is one such person, and not denigrating here, but that's if you listen to her news. Anything to besmirch Trump, Putin, and who else? Those are the 2 I have noticed that every time she has to say something really negative, and there's so many. Even the negatives do not exist without positives. There are so many positives to talk about Trump and Putin that doesn't catch their attention. Nothing but focus on negatives, right? Anyways, everything is subjective. It all depends on which side of the fence you are in, and your view is subject to where you are, on this side of the fence or the other side of the fence. History is the same. History, like in my other video, I said Napoleon Bonaparte, I think Bonaparte in French and Bonaparte in English, said to have, it's attributed to him as saying the following thing. What did he say? Okay, history. What is history? History is nothing but nothing but an accepted fable. Or history is what is history? What is history? Nothing but a fable agreed upon. Something to that effect, right? So that sums it up. It's when I say sums it up, that's very succinctly put. Everything is subjective. If you're from this side of the Atlantic, your worldview ought to be different. If you're from the other side of the Atlantic, you ought to be different. But in her case, Palky Sharma, she has worked for CNN. Now she is from the other side of the Atlantic. She is broadcasting, but relentlessly promoting the CNN narrative. I've seen it time and again. And if you just for interest, if you watch it, you'll see. If you get quickly annoyed, you would turn it off. But sometimes you have to laugh at these people, And that said, was it Nelson Mandela who said, "Never begrudge anybody," and hate is a very very toxic feeling, and those who hate, it's like drinking poison to kill your enemies, right? Because it's in you though that these harmful negative emotions and feelings. So just laugh it off and move on. But what did she say? Trump is a conservative darling, like Trudeau is a liberal darling, and she's the fake news darling. And something else she said. Oh, Obama. Yeah, Obama is an interesting person, isn't it? Obama is said to be the butcher of Libya, Syria, and Yemen. All right. What about giving? Was it 150 billion secretly in a plane? Was taken to Iran, and then somehow that got leaked. And these days everything gets leaked because everybody's carrying a camera, a phone camera. It's very, it's just, we have come a long way in the digital era. The technology is advancing every day, and Trump is, they say Trump is a racist and that, this and the other. Look at what he's doing. Is he a racist really and truly? And he has appointed for the first time now 5 Indians in his cabinet. Now he's appointing someone for AI, artificial intelligence. Someone who is a director of artificial intelligence department or whatever. Like people like Palky Sharma, I guess they can't even find their own intelligence, let alone artificial intelligence. That said, what's the other thing? Interestingly, when the election campaign was going on, she came out and said, "Trump, what did she say? Oh, it's about Baron Trump, because Baron Trump is said to be very, very computer savvy, computer smart, and so he helped Trump with meeting the younger voters, and he went on Joe Rogan, etc. It was all attributed to Trump's youngest son. Why? Because he's a very smart guy, and it's not surprising. And it seems like he's a gem of a boy. It's just his demeanor alone speaks volumes. And Palky Sharma says this is the remark she made on a news telecast. Trump is Trump's campaign is just he's getting advice from his youngest son, Barron Trump, to run his campaign. What kind of person will get advice from an 18-year-old? Mind you, the 18-year-old you're talking about, 18,000 times smarter than you without, from what we come to know. And very likely he would continue the Trump dynasty. Everybody's talking about it. Now, what's with Trump? Trump critics and the Trump rivals and Trump haters. One by one, they are just coming around. Of course, only you can fight only so much. I read something interesting. What is that? I'll just read this to you. His well-wishers whispered to him, "You can't withstand the storm." But he whispered back, "I am the storm." Does he talk about Trump? Has anybody in the American history gone through or have been put through what Trump had to endure? Right? So that's Palky Sharma. Let's finish this up and see what we have to say.
I find him to be a very nice guy, but the truth is that I called him out on the fact that he's not paying 2%, and I guess he's not very happy about it.
To be fair, Trump is a tough customer. He doesn't filter his words, he can fire off insults, and he doesn't respond to reason. But you must admit two things about him. One, he responds to strength, and two, he has forgiven some of his bitter rivals. Just think back to his first term. Trump had a major rivalry with Kim Jong-un. He called the North Korean leader Rocket Man and Maniac, even threatened to launch nukes at him. But the same Donald Trump also reached out to him. He met him thrice in less than 1 year, also exchanged handwritten letters with him, which means you can find ways to work with Donald Trump. Japan's Shinzo Abe did it. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Wow! Trump's positive side she's talking about. If Mark Cuban can come around, if Elon Musk can join Trump, if so many other who were on the arch rivals of him, they all want to join him. Oh, what is Palky Sharma? Now she's mellowing down. She's saying Trump, she's talking about, for the first time in history, she's talking about Trump's positive qualities. He would forgive his enemies at times, and as long as they're willing to work with him, he would not hold any grudge. See how nicely she's talking about. Soon she'll say Trump not only would forgive his arch rivals. It might take some time, few years down the road, before his term, 4-year term, comes to an end. I won't be surprised if Palky Sharma says Trump not only is a forgiving person. He's when it comes to forgiving, he comes next. He would be the second to Jesus Christ and things like that. Anyway, let's listen to this.
Netanyahu did it, Emmanuel Macron did it, and India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi did it. But Justin Trudeau simply cannot, and we get it. Trump is not your conventional world leader. Your normal diplomacy will not work with him. But he is the US President-elect. If you want a working relationship, you need to be innovative. You need to display tact and maturity. Neither of those are Trudeau's strengths. Of course, there is a silver lining in all of this. Trudeau's own lawmakers are trying to top. So this rivalry with Donald Trump won't last much longer.